What? Oh my gosh! What's up, North County? Man, I got a little buzz there. We are talking all things Creston Classic Rodeo with Lee Oliver and Charity Doherty. Welcome.
Hi, Randy.
Man, I'm sorry, guys. I got my mind.
Did we make you that nervous, really?
Yeah, we were just talking about her being nervous, and I just completely failed. So there you go. I'm at the bottom now.
Okay, good, perfect.
Awesome. Well, right on, guys. Well, thanks for coming in. You guys are busy. You guys are in the final stretch, right? 1 week from today, you guys are going to be jamming with full action rodeo.
Yeah.
We'll already have a day over by today.
Yep.
Right? Because you guys start on the 14th, which is next Thursday, right?
Yeah, Thursday night.
Awesome.
Well, actually, Thursday morning, 9 a.m. is set up. If anybody wants to come and help us set up, 9 a.m. at the Creston Classic Rodeo Grounds. We'll be hanging banners and setting up tents, and come on down.
Very cool. So Charity, we know about Lee. Lee's the president of the Rodeo Association. Is it association?
It's a board.
It's a board. So Charity, what is your take? What's your role on the board?
I got to be secretary this year, and not the rodeo secretary. Like, I don't take the signups. That's Desiree, and she's not here because she's more busy than all of us. So I am just I do the minutes, and I help Lee with the
She's
agenda.
downplaying this terribly because she is my right hand.
Aww.
Every time I turn around, if I need something, she's standing right there. She will, keep things flowing through the meetings. And the beautiful part about Charity is she's very soft-spoken and very pleasant and very nice, but she has a set of teeth that she will bear when needed. And I lean on her for that, really, because trying to keep 11 people lined out, getting along, moving forward, and with a goal is a job like you've never seen. It's quite the deal.
So
And
Charity, how long have you been involved?
I actually don't know how long I've been involved. I never can keep track of how many years I've done stuff.
Well, you were here with Shadle in 15, right?
Yeah, I don't remember all of it. I haven't been there.
So a long time.
Yeah, a long time. Sometimes I ask myself, like, why are you doing this? Like, really? You just want to show up and ride your horse. That's all you want to do. And I thought about it, and I know why. I have some pretty big whys. Why I'm part of this rodeo board. None of us need an extra full-time job. But when we moved to Creston, I think it's probably, it would probably be 16 years ago this year. We lived in Paso. My husband, Kevin, he knew we needed to sell our house. The numbers and the spiral of the construction world, all that stuff, he was like, no, we're selling. And we had no idea what our finances were, where we were going to go. We lived with my sister for 8 months, and our kids were 2 and 4. We knew about this house in Creston, and it was a dump, but we just were like praying, like, where are we supposed to go? Anyway, one day we're like, oh, it's perfect. We're like, oh, thanks God. So but before we found that place, our daughter was just 4, just turned, and she kept saying, Mommy, I want a house with a big arena and a swimming pool with a diving board. And I was like, oh, honey, Mommy and Daddy can't do that. And she kept going and kept going. Finally, I said, Bailey, if you really want this, I can't see how we can do it. You just need to pray. And I just kind of left it like, okay, that's enough. She gets it. Like, we're not going to do this. And then we landed there in Creston, and Kevin and I couldn't see what this place was. And like I said, it was rough. And then we get there and we realize, oh my gosh, there's the Creston pool. Like, it's a couple feet from our house, really. And then the Creston Rodeo Arena. And we could ride there if we wanted to, and then all these other arenas, and I was like, okay, God, thank you for answering that little girl's prayers.
It was not the direction you thought it was going to be, but it ended up right where you wanted to be.
No, and he just really answered this little girl's prayers and ours. We didn't even know what to pray for, so that's why. And then that's why I'm on the pool board also, the Creston Community Association, which funds the pool.
Wow.
And so that maybe is even my biggest why, because the rodeo, with the fundraising that we do, it's a nonprofit. We fundraise for the community. That's what we're supposed to do. We give money to the community center, but then also to the pool. And that pool, 1960, built by the community, it's old, but man, it serves such a purpose. And so if I will slave all year for this rodeo. I will slave all year for that pool because I see the good that comes out of both of them. That's my why.
Well, there you go, guys. That's a great why.
Yeah.
That's a passionate why.
Yeah.
So, but you guys obviously plan and prepare for this all year long.
Yeah.
So you guys are, like I said, the fourth quarter. You guys are now the nose to the grinding stone, and you're, kind of sealing up the loose ends. So, so tell me a little bit about what it takes to get where you guys are at right now.
She was not lying. It is a full-time job. The only break we get is September 18th through about the middle of October, where we have our wrap-up party with all of our sponsors and our volunteers and things like that. There's planning and everything that goes into that. From about that point till about January, we're still having meetings every month, and we're preparing for that next year. There really is no off season for this. Because if you take any time off, it runs away from you and you can't catch it.
And I think that this year we have a new board member who is really excited about the sponsors, and so he's even wanting to take the next step and start reaching out to sponsors earlier, because we wait till after the first and then send out sponsor letters, and so we kind of have maybe some new progress that we're going to be making toward sponsors. And then also part of our intention is when somebody does sponsor, we do the Facebook shout outs constantly. It's not just, for the couple months before the rodeo. Really, we try to do it for the full year and give, we follow, right?
Well, if you guys haven't noticed, every time you see a Facebook post at 6 o'clock in the morning, this is why. Every morning she's drinking coffee, sitting at the kitchen table before she goes to her full-time job, and she's taking care of things for the rodeo. She is the mastermind behind the Facebook page, and it's been a huge asset this year because we have sponsors saying, hey, this is awesome. We're seeing our shout outs on Facebook, and we have potential sponsors reaching out saying, hey, we saw all this activity on your Facebook page. How do we get to be a part of that? And that's all thanks to charity and all the diligence that comes in. I'm not wanting to sit on the computer at 6 o'clock in the morning when I'm facing down 12 hours worth of work that day, but she does. Well, and it makes a huge difference for us.
And actually, when we talk about the board, we have Desiree is also on the Facebook page, and Faith Cortez is also on now. So we have just a core group of us. So they're it's awesome because
so you guys have a lot of help.
We have an incredible
That's
team.
Awesome.
An incredible team. So they're on there too. And
well, they say it takes a village, and it's not a lie.
Yeah.
Right.
We've grown our board from 9 members to 11 this year, and it's made a huge difference for us because you have 2 more sets of helping hands taking tasks and handling things when it's overloading for even the amount of people that we have with all the experience that we have, because there's a lot of years of Creston Rodeo experience on this board. There's a past president on there. There's people that have been involved with it for years, and it still is. You stare down a mountain every year, and you're wondering how you ever accomplished it when you get to the top, which is this week.
Yeah.
So this all started in 1996, correct? And so we're going into your 27th year. Or 27th rodeo, 28th year. You guys, market it that way, but
it's the COVID bubble.
Right. We missed it, but we still had it. And
what? On that subject, though, I just have to say the whole Creston, nothing's going to die out in Creston. I don't care what you want to shut down the world. Fine, we're still going to do stuff out in Creston. And that year, do you remember that? Do you remember okay, what are we going to do? We're going to roll. And it was great, and we had
fun. People were so excited because we didn't act scared.
No.
We just put our heads down and said, hey, the whole community, the whole area needs this because everybody's been locked down, everybody's been scared, and we just said, you know what, this is how we roll in Creston, and we're going to do it. And everybody just was thrilled. We had a huge turnout for a team roping and a barrel race.
Yeah, we did. There was other things in Creston that same year. I don't know if you guys remember. Do you remember the graduation party that we had downtown? So 2020, my daughter graduated 2020, and on Facebook, if you guys remember that, do some shout outs and remind everybody what happened there, because 2020, I was so mad. I was like, what in the heck? I was starting to stomp around, and when I stomp around, it can get real. And I'm like, hold up, Charity. Like, what do you have control of? And so I said, hold up, let's go. So we had we closed down 229. It was a full tailgate, the whole length of Highway 229 right there through Creston, both sides loaded. We put a shout out, invite all the local high school kids, all the junior high kids. We even had Cal Poly and Cuesta kids that were graduating.
Because these kids didn't get a graduation party.
Yeah, they didn't get their graduation.
So they had a huge block party in Creston, shut the town down, and had a graduation party for everybody and anybody that didn't get one.
And everybody, like the community came together and volunteered. Like Brad Goodrow brought down his big flatbed trailer, and then Andy Morris volunteered his time and came and DJ'd out there. And we had, there were so many others. The Brian Pritt and Christine Pritt, the benefactors of Creston Classic Rodeo, they own the Long Branch. They put up porta potties, and so the kids, they walked down Highway 229. If you imagine them walking south out of, like from the Long Branch, walked down 229. And then they one by one came across the stage and said, hey, my name is so-and-so. I graduate here and I'm going to this college or that college. And I remember this one kid, he lives in the Plains, and he gets up there and he's so nervous, like I was today. And he gets up there and he goes, my name is so-and-so and I graduated, whatever school he was from. And he just was like on pause because everybody's saying, I'm going here and I'm going to this college or what. And he didn't have anywhere he was going. And then we shouted out, and I'm going to work and make money. And the crowd went wild. And I thought, Lord, thank you for this gift today, because all these people here just cheering for this kid in particular, but all these other young people. Anyway, my point with it is, Creston, you're not shutting it down. You're not. And if the rest of the world wants to, come to Creston, because we won't be closed.
Well, there you go. There's your slogan.
Open door policy, pretty much.
No,
come to Creston. We're never closed.
And also the Creston pool. I know the gal in charge of it.
Yeah, I do too. Hi.
We weren't closed.
Awesome.
It was rad. It was an
very
oasis.
Cool. So what can somebody expect? So you guys have grown with the rodeo over the years. I mean, we were just talking about sponsors. You know, you guys have just a bucket full of sponsors that come out. People still knocking on the door to be involved. Yeah. But what about the attendance? I mean, you guys are talking about putting more bleachers in because you need them from last year. So tell me about that.
Well, you and I talked about this earlier. With the Cowboy Channel producing rodeos, 100 rodeos in 100 days during Cowboy Christmas in the summertime like this, people are starting to get more actual visual of it and get an idea of it and see, hey, you know what? This is pretty cool. I like this. This is like grassroots hometown sports competition, and it's rugged and it's cool. So it rolls right through into that. Well, Sheriff's Rodeo, they sold that thing out. The fair this year, they sold it out. Last year at Creston, it was standing room only. Yeah. There was thousands of people that showed up to that little town because they wanted to see it, because it's become something that people want to follow. It's fun. And not only that, here we've geared it toward, you can watch your buddy or your cousin. Yeah. Or we can watch Randy Doty getting drug around the arena.
Nobody wants to see that.
Totally
Nobody wants to see that.
Oh, no, that's going to happen.
No, you'll ride it. Come on.
But that's
Advil.
That's why.
I'll be sponsored by Advil.
Hey, we can get you an ibuprofen sponsorship.
But that's the coolest thing is, like I said, I mean, I've been going for a few years now. Last year, we were involved a little bit and helping to promote it. Had a blast there. Had made probably too much of a blast, but it was there was a lot of people. It was just fun. It's a fun activity for families. You know what you're going to get. You're going to, again, you're going to run into people that you see, locally. Yeah. And it's just a real cool atmosphere. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys really, really do it well.
Last year, our attendance jumped so much. Like, I was the one who called Greg's Porta Potties. He sponsors the rodeo, and he brought the potties. So I was like, I'll just do what we had done the year previous. It was not enough. And Greg saw it, and he was like, okay. So we're handling that. Everybody, ladies, will have better, cleaner porta potties and more this year. But that was on me. I didn't realize that we were going to have such an increase in.
Well, you
in
can't
numbers.
see that coming down the pipe. When you have an average amount like we had up to last year, the amount of numbers that we had covered it just fine. You can't predict to have a third more show up standing room only in crowds looking through the fence to watch.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's something you can't predict. I mean, it's something you welcome, but you can't really predict it. So now we plan accordingly for that growth, and we're prepared for that growth in that regard this year.
You know what I dig about rodeo around here is that we have, I mean, in just a 2-hour radius, we've got, Salinas, and we've got the Sheriff, and we've got the Fair, and we've got Creston, and we have Cal Poly, and we have Elks, and all of them are so different. You're not going to this rodeo and it's exactly the same cookie cutter as the next rodeo. And like Creston, and there's ranch rodeos around too, but that Creston, I know people that have never entered a rodeo event that are entering this year.
Yep.
And it's
every year it's that way.
Every year, yeah.
We are everybody's first because it's so welcoming and easy to do. It's more of a ranch rodeo setup with events that anybody you run across, anybody can lay down on a cowhide and hang on.
Totally.
That's doable for the average Joe.
Right.
Where when you go to a pro rodeo somewhere, there's 15, 20 years worth of experience, $200,000 rigs, $100,000 worth of horses. You're not going to step into that realm. But with us,
it's a true country rodeo.
Right Absolutely.
Country hometown rodeo.
And everybody misses, everybody gets bucked off, everybody knocks a barrel down, and if you haven't, well, then you haven't entered. So that's how I look at it. It's like, it's just...
Well, my favorite event is the mutton busting. Yeah. So, like I said, I could watch a whole event, all day long, mutton busting. I think that is like right here, I mean, that right there is just the icing, and the kids dig it, the crowd digs it, and it's just a fun, relatively safe,
well, we've got them in full gear. They've got,
totally.
They've got protective vests and helmets and stuff like that. And knock on wood, we have never had a kid cry outside the gates. They all cry when they hit the ground because they're scared.
Well, we were talking about that last year. We're like, Eric, we're just laughing at these kids. These kids come out. You see a couple kids, walking out of the chute with shaking their head. Mom or dad's following them, going, not going to do it. But everyone, not every one of them, but a good portion of them, they come out, and they're all getting up crying. Yeah. And it's just like, where else can you, go and laugh and have a good time and watch kids cry?
Those kids have never hit the ground, and it scares them to see the ground coming because in their mind they think, if I hit the ground, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
Right.
And they hit and they roll and they're shocked.
Like, what?
And that's kind of my deal is you can see when they hit and roll a little bit, you run out there and you pick them up and you're like, yay!
Right.
And I'm okay.
High five, yeah.
Yeah, no, you guys are on it. You guys are, whoever's that person is, they're going over there and getting the kid real quick. It's like, no, he's fine, it's fine. Patting them down. Yep. But it's a great time. I mean, like I said, the Creston Classic Rodeo is a local favorite. Obviously it's growing as it should be. You got, participating, cowboys and cowgirls and kids and, everybody's just, coming along. And I think, Lee, you mentioned tonight is cut off for...
tonight at midnight. You got to be entered by tonight at midnight.
Okay.
So all of you that don't have your entries cleared up and your partners haven't got entered... now.
That's me
because
too.
you don't want to deal with Desiree tomorrow if you're incomplete. You don't want to do that. Get them in now.
Awesome. And $10 to get in? So, and how does people get tickets? They can obviously buy them at the gate, but do you prefer them to buy it before? Oh, you can't buy them at the gate?
No, you just buy them at the gate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, you pay as you walk in.
Yeah.
Everything's all that electronic now. It's like,
not us.
Glad to see that it's not, because I hate those things.
Yeah. And I should mention, we have I'm just going to, even though I don't drink beer, but beer booth, it's cash only. So bring your cash. Just if you want to visit Guyleen from the haircut shop in Atascadero, bring your cash. Guyleen will take care of you.
Creston is not a cashless society.
No.
We are the polar opposite.
Yeah.
We take Benjamins and we give back Andrew Jackson.
You like greens. You like greens.
Yes, it's just easier, like.
That's right. The banks don't make all the money.
No.
It's a nonprofit, and we're trying to support the community center and the pool and all the kids that need the help. And paying the banks with your debit and ATM and credit card fees does not do that.
Even, we were talking about mutton busting, even though it's all over Facebook and Desiree has done a really good job advertising that, mutton busting signups you don't do online there. The deadline for that is not tomorrow or tonight. It is Sunday, sign up at 10 at the rodeo grounds, and then ride at 11. So be there, be in line before 10. My daughter Bailey Doherty be taking signups, and we have 75 back numbers, little memorial back numbers for the kids.
And then that's it? So only the 75 kids?
We couldn't do over 75 kids if we tried.
Because you got an
Randy.
hour.
Yeah.
Right? We talked about that. I mean,
75 is
so
the
there's
max
60.
we could
I don't know if you guys done the math.
No, we don't.
You have 60
we
minutes.
We don't want to know.
We don't do math.
Okay. Because I'm putting it together going, carry the one. Okay.
Yeah.
You'll get it done in an hour.
We'll do it.
75 kids in an hour.
And every back number is 23. So this is your 2023 memorial or memory for back numbers. So
awesome.
Yeah, keepsake.
Yeah, keepsake.
Very cool. And then, so tell me a little bit about some of the sponsors that you guys have this year. Give them a little shout out.
Oh man, well, Premier Ag's always super loyal, coming back. Of course, Linda Rohr with Rohr Hay and Feed. Actually, if you're a Premier sponsor, one cool thing, I'll segue real quick into the grand entry. We brought on Faith Cortez as a board member this year. Faith has tons of experience with the grand entry at Salinas Rodeo, so she knows real grand entries. And then she also was in charge of the flags and running those at the Sheriff Rodeo. So anyway, Faith has it all planned out for sponsor flags. If you're a Premier sponsor, you have a flag, and we'll be running them horseback through the arena during the performances.
Cool.
We have Borjone Auto just came back on. They used to be a sponsor a long time ago, and then I was rooting through the C train just the other day, and I'm like, here's Borjone's banner. So I messaged Sheila, hey Sheila, and so they're back on as a diamond sponsor. Coast Pipe is always loyal. Mark's Tires, Mark and Lisa,
Tires, huge.
Always loyal.
Yes.
I just could go on and on for all of them.
Sure.
But
Well, you guys list them pretty well. Like you said, you guys do the shout outs there, on the
and
social
Story
media.
Termite is one of yours, and he's one of ours. And Key Termite is ours too. I think all the pests around this area are scared. So
yeah, they are.
Well, cool. Yeah. Well, like I said, I think that's real important for any nonprofit organization, to have really that community support, which you guys obviously do. With all the different businesses that. You reach out, they're like, yeah, no problem. We'd love to, help and sponsor you guys. So I think that's really cool. So we're really looking forward to it just because, again, the rodeo, you guys have a 4-day event starting next Thursday. This coming Thursday,
Yep.
right? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You got, your finals being Saturday and Sunday, Lee?
There's no finals.
Okay.
There's no finals. This isn't run that way.
Okay.
It's a one-run rodeo. And any excess we have will be taken care of through the Slack on Saturday and then Sunday mornings. And then we'll have performances Saturday and Sunday.
Okay. And then Sunday morning you have Cowboy Church there in the arena,
Yes.
right?
starts at 8 a.m.
And the grandstand's right there, yep.
So obviously you want to invite everybody out for that as well.
They
Of
usually
course,
have donuts.
Yeah, there's donuts and coffee, and it's a major turnout every year. So if you want to be there, get there early or you won't have a spot.
Awesome. So anything else we want to talk about? Get people out there and get them to know about?
Well, the entries are the main thing because they're closing tonight.
Okay.
And it's a hard close. It's really a tough thing. I can't stress how hard it is to deal with after the fact open entries, because a lot of these things are team based. There's as many as 4 people on a Rancher Open brand team. So you've got 3 of them entered and you got 1 guy hanging out there that hasn't paid his entry or done anything, and that just leaves a big red blip on the computer screen as we're trying to get everything processed and ready to go. So we have to have everything in and done by midnight tonight. That way we take the time to build the performances, make sure our cattle numbers are correct, and get everything ready to go so we can actually fill those slack performances and the rodeo performances over the weekend.
Awesome.
I would say it's funny because a couple of years ago, maybe it's a COVID anomaly too, but the Thursday night barrel race and the Friday night roping wouldn't necessarily have big crowds, like spectator crowds, but we really realized after 2020 that then here comes Thursday night and we're like, these stands are full and people are watching barrel racing.
It's not a spectator event. We don't charge to get into the jackpots, but the stands are full.
Yeah.
Everybody's hanging out, visiting, like we talked about last week. They're seeing people they haven't seen for a long time because everybody wants to show up and watch, and you get to hang out and see all the people you don't get to see all the time.
Yeah,
it's an activity.
We'll have 100 plus barrel racers and people come and just cheer them. The other thing about Thursday and Friday night in the VIP corral, the Creston Horse 4-H, they come and they're doing all the food. They sell, whatever
they're having, doing tri-tip sandwiches, hot dogs, potato salad, chili.
Yep, Frito boats type of thing.
Oh yeah.
And that horse, it's a Creston Horse 4-H group, and they have a whole group of kids that come and moms and dads that come and work so hard, and they make enough money that they're able to take their group and go to travel to like Sacramento and do some of the big 4-H horse shows, and they're so grateful. First of all, the food's great. They work really hard, and then they're really grateful because they're able to fund their events and they're putting in work, and it's rad. I mean, I love it. I love that.
Oh, very cool.
That's
it
Thursday,
goes
Friday
right
night.
back to the whole supporting community thing, and that's what I love about it. That's probably what drives most of us is you're supporting these kids to have somewhere to go in the summer.
Yeah.
Because I went to that pool. I grew up in Creston and rode my bike down there every day in the summer. And that's huge for a kid.
Yeah.
Right.
I went to Creston and I was in the 4-H. I took steers and pigs to the fair with Creston 4-H. So to me, this is my way of giving back.
Yeah.
Because I got to have all of that super cool stuff that you usually don't get.
Yeah.
Right.
But now this way we can help give back and support. It's kind of like the alma mater at a college.
Right.
It's the Creston way of us doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, like I said, guys, so we're going to be having some more people next week talking about the Creston Classic Rodeo coming on the show. We're going to hopefully get some sponsors in, supposedly get the Ryans in, and talk about the history of it and stuff like that. So we really appreciate you guys coming in, and whatever we can do to help, get that voice out there and bring in more people and have the best ever.
Yeah.
Most ever.
Now I don't want to leave. I want to stay here.
Well, you can come back on next week.
Anymore.
We'll get you on next week for sure.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, Charity, thank you so much.
Bye, Randy.
Lee, thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate it. We appreciate everything that you guys do. Like I said, we know it's a big undertaking, and you guys really can't do anything without the help of your whole board. So we really appreciate it. Looking forward to the Creston Classic Rodeo.
Okay. Thanks, Randy.
Well, there you have it, guys. Thanks for tuning in to What's Up North County, and make sure you guys get out to the Creston Classic Rodeo next week, starting Thursday through Sunday. You guys do not want to miss this. It's a local favorite. See all your friends, all your family, and all the cowboys and cowgirls, and most important, mutton busting on Sunday. You don't want to miss that. As always, guys, we can't do this without our sponsors. We'd like to thank Esclar Wines, Wine Travelers Hideaway, Rancho Sestero Meat Cutting, Visit Atascadero, 805 Customs, Hanson Enterprises, El Red Rooster, Pacific 805 Spas, Story Termite and Pest Control, Paso Robles Furniture, 5-Star Rain Gutters, Airflow Filter Services, Borhone Auto Center, Kennedy Club Fitness, and Amy and Jamie's Place. Guys, thanks again. We'll see you at the rodeo.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Veux-tu danser avec moi? Hi, welcome to Kennedy Club Fitness, where we have something for everyone. We have weights, cardio, group exercise classes, racquetball, basketball, swimming, and pickleball coming soon. Here at Kennedy, we're committed to health, wellness, and community. Stop by any of our 4 locations: Paso Robles, Atascadero, San Luis Obispo, and Arroyo Grande, or check out our website at kennedyclubs.com.
We don't just serve it up, we roast it, distill it, brew it, craft it, crank it, bake it, make it, perfect it, cure it, paint it, live it, breathe it, and then we serve it up, all in Atascadero.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.